Okay, I'm just gonna, so I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna add it in project, the gnome signs here. Female gnome. Okay, so it's a lot easier to make an STL 3D file if you insert SVGs that you already made. So right up here, insert SVG. You need to choose a plane. I always choose this bottom plane right there. Then right there, it'll pop open a window so you can choose the SVG. And I've got them in gnomes. Let's find my female gnome. And did I actually save it all the way? Let's see where I saved it as. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Okay. So it'll pop up. I usually leave it in the same spot that it appears in. So when I do layered ones, it's easier because it'll pop in right where I had it centered on here. So it's just easier. And then you just hit OK and finish sketch. Second there, and then you have your sketch here. And to hide it, hit that, bring it back. Make sure to, when you hit it, after it disappears, and then it's in there. If you go out of it, it won't fully add it in. So in order to start to build it up, you hit the button extrude, and you just start clicking. So how I'm going in and out, I'm just using the wheel on my mouse. So I always do, I'm going to join because I want it one full thing here. So when I do the first one, I always select the entire area, all my outlines and everything. The pan is a little hand there, is how I can move it around. And then to get out of it, you just click once right there. That'll bring it out. All right, pan, do you help find it again? I want to make sure that I select all these areas because I want it one big solid platform. This program, it kind of, the more stuff you have open or the more details you have, the slower it runs. Almost. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out here. So hit join here. Okay, before you can hit OK, you have to choose how high you want it up. Just want a solid base, so I just do it at 1 millimeter and hit OK. And over here, as soon as it's done, it's going to pop up under bodies. this is one solid piece. I go ahead and I hide it. And I reselect my sketch there. And I'm gonna hit extrude there, and I am going to just click these spots, but not the outline here. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to get sometimes when you don't. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up to 1.5 here. And then before I hit join all together, I'm going to unselect this body because I want it one piece all together. I hide the body so that way I can see the sketch pop through, because when I don't hide the body and I click on it, it's just going to select that part. So I hit join, and okay. And every so often I go ahead and I save it. And you look right here, the version 1. Each time you save it, if you click it as a milestone, I do that way it's easier to go back and undo something. It'll create, the V2, the version 2, and it'll update up here. Or it should. Eventually will, I guess, but okay, you see how it's all one piece here? See, you can see it there. Scroll out here. You can just click to maneuver it around. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and hide the spot. I want some areas to stick out more. These arm areas here, because later on I'm going to stick inserts there. I want this part to stick out more. The reason I do this is sometimes when you print it, that way you can switch out colors, and these will be the same height. So I'll do this one at 1.75 millimeter. And I want to join it. And then open up that body there. This is the longest part, is waiting for it to do it. There we go. And hide this part again. And we'll have the shoes here and the hat the same color, so we'll do this one at 2. And again, before you hit OK, make sure to pop that back up. There we go. Okay, I don't need to hide the sketch or the body really anymore, because now when I click on it, it'll pop up. So I'm going to raise. Now I'm just, instead of building it from nothing, I am raising it up. But yeah, I am actually. Let's go here. Okay. I want this one at about 225 here. It doesn't really matter how much you pop them up here. When I'm all done doing this part, I'm going to make the bottom part bigger, because right now if I printed it, it would be way too thin. So I'm going here and I'm going to check my layers there. Okay. So let's see here. I am going to do the arms now, because again I want those parts higher, because that's where the inserts are going to rest at. And I'll do these ones at 250. Make sure here. Yep, okay, those are up higher than everything else. Alrighty, and I'm going to go ahead and this part, let's do it about 10 millimeters. If I did new body, this piece would be separated from the top piece. That's why I always click on join. It's all just one piece. Okay, let's join it there. There you go, it's all one piece there. That's how you want it. It looks good. Just a second here. Okay, that's right. Okay, so you'd think it would be done, but it's not. If it was all in separate pieces, you'd want to click combine and click all of them. But since it's all one piece, it looks good how I want it. I'm going to hit create. I'm going to go down here to create mesh. This makes it all one. They print out better. You want to click on create and then B rep to mesh. Just click on them. Hit OK. Make sure every piece is selected there. And it is. It looks good. You have to hit finish mesh or it's not going to save it. And I'm going to hit save here. It's going to change to, after 2, it'll change to 3, and now I can export it. Exporting is what gets it out of here. So this is what the file is going to export as. In order to be able to print it, click on here and you want to make sure it's an STL file. Right here is the locations. It's already going to be going into gnomes because that's where the last one went. It's just where on your computer you can have it go anywhere you want it to, but it's already going into gnomes where I want it to go. And then you just hit export. Window's going to pop up, and right here it'll tell you when it's done. And this is the part that takes a while. So you can see here, this is the mesh body. The other body is still there. If both of these are selected when you export it, your print is going to mess up. So you want to make sure that this one is not selected here. But I'm going to have this guy here, and so now I'm going to insert something else in there. I'm going to insert the arms. So let's see here, I did Christmas tree with ornaments. I'm going to go ahead and open, and I'm going to let it go. I'm going to click the bottom plane right here. So I'm just going to leave it right where it is because that gnome is still there, and that way it just lines up so I can make sure that fits together right. Okay, and finish sketch. And so this one, I'm going to save it as something else because it's not my female gnome anymore. Do it as Xmas tree with ornaments. And again, it's already going into the gnome one. If I wanted it to go somewhere else, I'd click here and pick whatever project. Just hit save. And finish sketch. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in here and kind of the same thing again, extrude, because I want a solid baseline. I am going to pick all of it again. Zoom in so I can see it a bit better. There it is. And I'm going to zoom out, make sure I got everything. And it did. Okay, so I want it joined. I want this all one piece. And because none of these are selected, it's going to create its own, right? There we go. Let's do one. Okay, it's all one piece. Let's hide that one. You can also name it. I just double click until it, pops up here. Just gonna call the Xmas tree. And nope. Gnome. Okay. All right, and then bring up my sketch here. Kind of the same thing for the arms here. I want it to look like the arms are out more, holding onto the tree. So I will do, make sure you hit extrude. I'm gonna go through and click all of the tree parts. There we go. So click on there and go 150 on this one. Same thing, and now I'm going to pick the nope, I'm going to unselect that part there. There we go. And I got them all. Join. I want it joined to this one. So that one was 150, and I will do this one at 175. And join. Okay, I'm gonna hide this guy. Let's do this guy. I'll do the star at 2. This one back up. Join. Hide this guy again. Alrighty. 250. Okay, the last part would be the hands here. That one, 275. Okay. And oh, you know what? I think I forgot that part. I did. So let's go. Okay. Okay. Join it. About 190. That looks good to me. It's already selected. Yeah. Okay. All right, this guy looks good. Let me go ahead and save it. I save it kind of throughout it just in case my computer can't handle it or, something happens. Just in case so I can go back. Oh, and each time, yeah, see, this one's done. But each time you right there that's showing where we made the mesh of the main gnome there, and then this guy right there. But it's all these, you can go back to that point if you really messed up, is why I save it like that. We'll mess with that one in a second when this one's all done. Okay, so same thing, to create mesh, and then that body is the one that's selected. Create brep to mesh. Click on it, OK, and finish. And then this is our, again, it should unselect, but in case it doesn't, you know, deselect it. And save it. And you can now export it. Make sure to do it as an STL so you can print it. It's already going where I want it to go. And export, and it's going to pop up here. So you could hit Show in File Explorer. It's going to bring it up, the folder where it is, and then it's right here. And then you can click on it to view it in a viewer, or choose whatever program you want to print it in. And the SVG I made should be sized the way I want it. If not, I can always resize it. Let me see which printer I have it set on. Okay, it is just a tad bit too big. I can go back and change it in that program where I can just double click in it. As long as it's on uniform scaling, you can scale it down to kind of fit a little bit better. By bringing that up, I'm just double clicking it there. Yeah, and I think this is a good size for me. As long as it's, if I wanted to go back in, I could make those different levels pop out a bit more, but it's about the same as the male gnome that I did. So this is how you save it again with that new, if you wanted it to be an STL with that perfect sizing, you go to File, Export Models, Export ASCII STL, and now it's going to save it as something else. You just want to change the name if you want to keep the other one intact. We'll go for the LK1 because it'll fit the longer LK1, and now it's good to go. Okay, so, and as soon as this one's done, we'd want to do the same thing. Bring it in here, and you scaled it down by 87%, so you're going to want to scale the other one down by 87% too. If you want to do the sizings in here before you export it, so that way you don't have to mess with it in there, go to Inspect, bring it down to Measure, and okay, get it straight from the top here. I want to measure this part to here. It's going to bring up those measurements. If you don't know millimeters, you can do secondary units and select inches, and it's going to bring up millimeters and inches for you. And let's see here, let's do the top. I'm going to pan it over and release it, click once, and let's just bring this part back up again. There we go. From here to here. That's already selected, and so it's good to go.